Good afternoon, world. It is moments past noon in Waxahachie, Texas, deep in the heart of the Lone Star State. And today is 11/11, which happens to be Veterans Day. And I was reminding my wife today, I said, it's 11/11. She says, it's 11/11 every year. It's like Christmas. It
Yeah.
doesn't change.
No, it doesn't.
And that is why I am wearing camo today. The only camo I own is gray camo, and it's because of in honor of Veterans Day, there's a beginning movement, probably a growing movement of make camo your cause as a way of recognizing veterans. So there you go. It's Veterans Day, 11/11/2020-25, and this is episode number 106 of Grit and Good News. And as always, we're broadcasting live from our studio here in downtown Waxahachie in the shadows of the Ellis County Courthouse. So that's that. And I am Jeff Lynch, and at the board is our man Sam Brooks, and to my right is
Thank you,
our
bud.
pal Scott Brooks.
Hey, everybody. Oh, it's going to be 70 degrees today, but man, has it been chilly.
And windy.
Oh yeah, windy.
Whew.
My complaint. I'm working really hard on my discipline to not complain this year. I did
How you
pretty
doing
well.
so
Well,
far?
well, if you go back to the summer, I held myself in check because I want to be grateful for whatever we get.
Right.
And I'm more likely to complain about the cold than I am about
Right.
the summer, the heat. So we'll see how well I do. But I mean, if it was like this, that'd be great. But it's not going to stay like this. It's going to get colder. But it's beautiful out there right now. But would be a good golf afternoon if we had the chance. But anyway, thank you for being here. As you know, we do this show every Tuesday, Thursday after noon to 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, which is Texas time. And yeah, I was hoping they would get rid of the daylight savings time this year. They're going to at some point. But let's just quit playing with that dumb philosophy and let it be lighter later instead of lighter earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
I
that
don't like
sun is
that.
coming in earlier than you
Yeah,
like to wake you up in the morning, but
yeah.
there's something kind of like reassuring about 5 o'clock, 5:30 at night, and it's dark out, and you just kind of have this homebody feeling, don't
Yeah, I
you?
mean, you do want to get home. The reason for me wanting it to stay lighter longer is because it takes me back to my youth when we could stay out until
Right.
9 o'clock
Right.
in Texas. Anyway, thank you for being here. We enjoy every one of you who are here with us, even those of you who don't weigh in. We do this show live, which is what you're seeing now. So whatever we say, we say. We don't edit anything. Most of the people that watch the show watch our YouTube channel or on Facebook or all the other platforms, but they'll watch them later on. So we appreciate that very, very much. As usual, we like to talk about just what's going on in the world, kind of on an update basis. And there's plenty to talk about both in the country and even locally with respect to the Metroplex. Let's just start, though, with NCAA. Oh, Sammy's got to do his numbers. Number 6.
Number
Sammy,
6,
don't let me forget that.
episode 106. Okay, we're starting off with
All right.
NFL.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Number 6, Bubby Brister. Is he on there?
He's not.
Bubby Brister was the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles. He was so-so.
No, yeah, I
Well,
don't have him
but
on there.
Jackson Dart.
I didn't have him on there. Dang it. That's a good one.
Let's see
Yeah.
who else.
You got the bad sources, and
You
you
got
guys never like my sources,
You
so
got
that's how you got the job.
you got Jay Cutler.
Yeah, I got Jay
He's
Cutler.
on there. Yeah.
Okay, so Baker Mayfield,
Baker. Yeah.
Jay Cutler. I literally have 4. Benny Friedman. He played for the Cleveland Bulldogs? Or is that wrong?
I think he's going back to day in history years.
Yeah,
That was
that's
1640.
And then Rolf Benskirski. He's a kicker in the 80s. Rolf Benskirski.
And since we can't see it in print, we're going to trust you on that
I'm
pronunciation.
still working on a way we can have a segment where Sammy says.
It's hard.
All right, what's the next sport?
NBA.
Oh, I got you there. Dr. J. Is he on there?
You probably got all of
Wait,
them.
is he on there?
Yeah.
LeBron, the moron.
Uh-huh.
Let's see.
I got some that you probably wouldn't know.
Moses Malone. He wasn't number 6. No, he was number 2, I think. I don't know.
Go, Sam, go.
You don't know? Okay, Bill Russell,
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
LeBron James, Julius Erving, Walter Davis, Avery Johnson
Oh yeah.
for the Spurs, Patrick Ewing.
one-time Maverick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
coach of the Mavericks. too.
Patrick Ewing wore 6 for the Magic.
Patrick Ewing was 6 of okay.
Ben-
Yeah, I'd have never known that.
Ben Wallace.
Yeah.
His prime, he was 3, but he also wore 6 for the Pistons.
Okay.
All right, MLB. This is
Yeah, I
day in
don't-
the history. This is going to be old people. Stan Musial for the Cards.
Musial.
Musial. How is that wrong? Musial.
Stan. My dad is rolling over in his grave right now.
As
Stan the man.
usual,
They call
it's
him
Stan
Stan the
Musial.
man. Usual.
Musial. Okay. Alkaline.
Alkaline.
K-line. Tony Olivia.
Tony
Olivia.
Oliva.
Olivia.
Minnesota Twin, left-handed hitter.
I got this one. Roy White.
Yeah, that's
got
hard to
that.
screw up.
Joe Gordon and Johnny Pesky.
All right, very good.
That
All right.
Tony Oliva stands for something else.
Yeah.
All right, NHL. We got Phil Housley for the Sabres.
Housley.
Yeah.
Housley. Alan Stanley didn't get his team. Ted Green for the Bruins. Larry Ori for the Red Wings. Howie Morenz didn't get his team. Morenz. Joe Thornton for the Bruins.
Yeah.
Gary Suter, Blackhawks, and Rob Ramage, Colorado Rockies.
That Suter is a family full.
Yeah.
I think there's 4, 5, 6 of them played in the pros.
Yeah, there are a lot of them. Some of them coached.
Yeah.
All
Some
right,
still
so
do.
there you go. Our number 6 next week, or Thursday we'll have number 7. That'll be a more popular number.
Neil Broughton.
Yeah. So NCAA football. So we're now into the months where every Tuesday night, like tonight, ESPN with its cast of characters will provide us the 12-team playoff projections. And we know the top 4 are Ohio State, Indiana,
A&M.
Texas A&M, and Bama. We know that if everything stays the way it is now, which it isn't, because Bama.
We have 1 loss.
Well, no, but yeah, well, true. But I think Bama, they're the SEC championship, the Big Ten championships, the Big 12. So these teams like Bama and A&M and Ohio State, all of them have to play
in their
championship.
Yeah.
So you're going to have probably Indiana, unless I don't know their brackets within their conferences, but it's very likely that Indiana will play Ohio State for the Big Ten.
Yeah.
You'll have Bama playing.
A&M.
If Bama could beat Oklahoma this weekend, which is our biggest test, probably of the year, but we're at home, that would be Bama and A&M for the SEC championship, and then you got so you got right there the top 4 will be paired up to play each other.
And I had pulled this out at the beginning of the year when we were trying to do our picks.
Yeah.
Look at how some of these have changed since then. Ohio State was 3.
Yeah.
They're at 2 now. Okay.
No, Ohio State's 1 now.
1, okay.
Yeah.
Bama was 8.
Yeah.
And what'd you say now?
They're 4.
4. A&M was 19, and
they're
they've gone
number
to
3. Yeah.
And Indiana was 20.
And they're number 2. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. And if you look
But they're all still in it.
Well, if you look at the flip side of that and say, okay, at the beginning of the year, what teams were in the top 5 or top 10, and where are they now? You look at Texas, although Texas has crept back into number 10.
Penn State was 2.
But yeah, you look. Yeah,
they've dropped.
LSU was in there because LSU came out of the gate. Beat
LSU
Clemson.
was 9.
Yeah.
Clemson.
Yeah, they were up there.
They were 4.
Yeah, and they're not even ranked in the top 25 anymore.
Yeah.
LSU or Clemson. So it's going to be a pretty exciting playoff system. This is the first time we've been at 12, so we'll see what happens. But it's going to come down. The top 4, 2 of those teams are going to have another loss, and just don't know who it's going to be, because Indiana really came close to losing last Saturday.
Yeah,
if not for the catch and the staying in bounds of the century. I mean, that was incredible. And Gus, we should have got that video of Gus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Johnson.
that call.
That was
awesome.
awesome.
A great call. Yeah.
So there was the long one on the sidelines, and then there's the one at the back of the end zone.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Was
about.
it the same guy on both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's the same guy. Actually, I don't know that. But Gus Johnson, who is I think he's one of the best play callers, TV guy. was going. Sam and I were listening to it yesterday afternoon. Was going berserk.
He was.
I
That
mean,
is,
you
that's
couldn't
not a
hardly hear what he was saying.
that's not a catch in the pros.
It
That was the
it's
1 foot deal.
he was
He was
no
just
yeah.
screaming. It was
It
so
was
funny. And
incredible.
people
Yeah.
didn't like it. I told my dad, there was some controversy.
People are
Yeah.
people dislike so much stuff that could be good. Cowboys, we had a week off, so we'll see if that helped in any way. They play Monday night against the Raiders, and
In Vegas, get used to that.
yeah, so we'll see there. And in that same division, we have the Giants, which again lost a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, and as of yesterday, they fired their coach Brian Daboll.
I
He,
saw that surprised me. I didn't really see
Yeah,
that coming.
I
I
think.
think he was 2-8, and he had a career of 20-40.
I didn't think. I thought it was like 13-33 or something like that. But it's bad. I
Yeah.
mean, but Daboll was Nick Saban's offensive coordinator for 1 year, and they didn't. I don't think they got along very well. And then he was the offensive coordinator for the Bills for a number of years. I'm not so sure. I don't know him, and I don't even know what I'm talking about probably. But I've heard enough people say he's not really a player's coach, and that he wasn't always, kind of
Yeah.
like a little bit of Brian Kelly in him.
Well, he was kind of messy. I mean, remember when Jackson went down? I forget who it
Yeah, and
was
he went and
against,
messed
and
in
he
the
went and
tent.
trying to find him. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
so
just
I mean,
kind
his
of
stud quarterback, I think Jackson Dart's going to be a great quarterback. Got injured, and now Sammy's all
I
happy.
know.
Yeah.
Sammy's
No.
happy because Jackson Dart got injured because now his guy is back in starting, and he thinks he's going to make money off of it.
Never would
That's
I be
awful,
happy.
So
isn't it?
how long do you think it's been that we've started to use the term players coach? It hadn't been around forever. We know that.
No, I mean, it
10, 15, 20 years?
probably, yeah. I mean, there are Brian Kelly's the opposite of a player's coach. I mean, his
Yeah.
players despised him at LSU, and probably the same at Notre Dame. And I saw him, many times on the sidelines just berate players, and it's just uncalled for. And I think Dayball has some of that in him.
But you can be tough and be beloved.
Yeah,
Like
oh, sure.
in that how
Look at Saban.
Saban and who's the other
I mean, there were Wade Phillips,
Bear Bryant.
Bear Bryant, but yeah, Bear Bryant was tough. Wade Phillips wasn't that tough, but there are coaches, yeah, who
Wade
get all over you,
Phillips.
but they get all over you in the proper setting, not on national TV and that sort of thing.
Wade
So
Phillips is the one that said that he liked to
who?
buy Wade Phillips
Yeah,
because he thought he treated a bye as a victory.
he's a character. So we got Brian Daboll out as the coach of the New York Giants, and then this morning it was announced, for those of you that don't know, Nico is gone from the Mavericks, which I last time back in February when this happened
Mm-hmm.
with Luca,
Mm-hmm.
I was willing to give him a chance. I was willing to let's see what happens. And really, what's happening now with the Mavericks isn't Nico's fault. I mean, if you can't, I mean, it's his fault that he drafted players that get hurt all the dang time. But he didn't draft Derek Lively, I don't think. Well, maybe he did, but he didn't. Derek Lively didn't have a background like Anthony Davis of getting hurt, every 2 seconds. But I don't know that this is. I don't know that this is Nico's fault if I'm playing
Right.
devil's advocate.
So
You are
Mark,
playing devil's. It's Nico's fault.
Why?
Because we had 25-year-old Luca. We just came off a final appearance with arguably people were saying the best backcourt in NBA history, or closing backcourt with Kyrie and Luca. Made it to the finals, lost. Luca is going to turn 26, go into his prime. Nico and Patrick both agree to trade Luca for a 32-year-old who has a long history of injury.
Yeah.
And I guess it was just for defense. And to Nico's point, or just whatever,
Credit.
our defense is good right now. We have a top 10 defense. It's just our offense isn't showing. But
Well,
it's
but let me just play this. You're comparing Kyrie and Luca,
yeah.
all right? But Kyrie hasn't picked up a basketball in a game this year.
Yeah.
So until I mean, I'm glad Nico's gone because I don't know that
until you got Kyrie and Flag together.
Yeah, you don't know what that's going to produce. Or I'm willing to give you this, that right now somebody's got to be the fall guy, and it's Nico.
Mm-hmm.
But until Nico, we'll never see it now. But until Nico's trades could adequately be compared to what he had before, then it's unfair to Nico
I
because
get
you
that. I
don't.
mean, we haven't had the chance to put out the players
Yeah,
on the court,
you put Kyrie and Flag,
and Davis
Lively,
and
Davis, and
Gafford.
whoever the fifth player, Gafford. That would be a stout team.
I mean, it is, and it also hurts because we started off 3-8, and while the Lakers are doing good, and Luka's
Yeah,
averaging 40.
is he?
Well,
Um,
I saw he was averaging 40, but he's down to
he's
37,
37 now.
9.9
9.4
need to bench
boards.
him.
Well, you know what? When you only play 9 games, if you go 25-point game, that'll
Yeah,
really
yeah,
hurt
yeah,
you
yeah,
40.
yeah.
37, 9.4, and 9.1 on assists. So
So he's almost
he,
averaging a
he's
triple
almost,
double.
which means most games he is getting a triple
Yeah,
double.
and he's not. I mean, he did get hurt.
Yeah, he had hurt his finger in his leg. He was out for over a week.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was it was kind of saying the same thing, like Luka can't stay healthy, but he came back and he's playing.
Well, when is
Um,
Davis supposed to be back?
we have no. He has a calf strain. There's actually Patrick Dumont and
Didn't he have
Nico.
that last year?
Yeah, Patrick Dumont and Nico got into it this Saturday for the Wizards game because Nico wanted Anthony to play. Dumont stepped in and said no.
Yeah,
So
Dumont. By the way, you referred to Patrick. You're talking about Dumont, right?
yeah, Patrick Dumont.
Well, he's part of the ownership group.
I
So
know there's a whole group. I know.
yeah, so he's like the chances of him ever being gone are
Yeah.
slim to none.
No, yeah,
He's the son-in-law of the lady who inherited the
The
team from her
Adelsons. Yeah,
dad.
the
yeah.
Adelsons.
Um,
And I wanna touch on the game last night. Cooper Flag had 26 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, his career high in points. I called you at halftime. We were up maybe 14 points, shooting lights out. They come all the way back. Giannis didn't even have a good game, but right at the end when we're going to score, one of their players grabs Coop's jersey coming off a screen, and like Coop falls, and the dude steals it and goes to score
they
and
didn't
gets
call
him.
a
They didn't
foul.
call it, so we lost by 2.
Well, I'm willing to forego the a dim. I'm willing to experience a dim beginning of the year,
Yeah.
but because you could it's easier to I think it's I don't know if this is true, but is it easier to make the playoffs in the NBA than not? It's almost like hockey. You got to
Yeah.
be a sorry
Yeah.
team to not make the playoffs in hockey.
Yeah.
Same with basketball. So if Kyrie gets back in January, month and a half, and the rest of them, I mean, the Mavericks are going to be right there, and by then Cooper's going to be what you saw last night
Oh
because I
yeah.
watched it a little bit.
He had
I saw a move he put on somebody, a spin.
spin, and he did
Oh,
it over Giannis, and
what
that was one of his clutch buckets to tie the game, and then he got fouled the next
look
play.
that is something with that kind of style that Luka couldn't
Oh
do.
yeah.
Luka could do a ton more, but that was sweet. So we'll
So
see.
so hockey, 16 of 32 get
Yeah.
in out of. Is that what you get in the NBA too?
I don't know if it's that,
Yeah, I don't know.
but you got to
Might
you
be.
got to have a bad record. I
Yeah,
mean, when an NBA team is
And there's playing too.
well, yeah,
So
plus that, but when you got a record that's you won 40% of your games and you can make the playoffs,
right.
it's pretty easy to make the playoffs. All right, so there you have it. I want to let everyone know. Well, no, I'm not. I think that's it on the updates. Did y'all have anything else on the update?
No, I
we
got
already went.
Tarnations,
All
but
right, let's
not
hear about
update.
some Tarnations.
Did we already go through Tarnations?
No, we hadn't gone through
Oh.
Tarnations. What do you got?
You know, the broadcasters in football are in love with Micah, right?
Mike,
Parsons.
oh, Micah,
They,
yeah.
they just drew. They just drew over him last night in the Packers game the other night.
Yeah, last night.
Last night, yeah. No sacks. He right now he's 0 for 2 in his last 2 games on sacks, 1 for 3 for the year, 6.5 for the season, which puts him 14th in the league in sacks. Okay,
Yeah.
so why are we drilling over that guy? I don't know. I got another. You remember when we were starting the show, and I wanted to have a comic section, and we didn't do it.
Yeah.
But this one was so classic, I had to bring it here.
Okay.
In the pickles here today, old couple, Earl and Opal, and they're sitting at the table, and Opal says, he's just staring at his spoon. Is it that hard to make a little conversation with me over dinner, Earl? I can't think of anything to say. That doesn't matter. No? Well, Plato said, wise men talk because they have something to say. Fools talk because they have nothing to say. So you're saying I'm a fool? This is why I don't make
Yeah,
conversation.
exactly.
And I went and looked it up. Plato did say that.
Yeah,
Plato did say
yeah,
that.
that's a good one.
That's a good one.
What about the baseball pitchers now on the prop bets?
Yeah,
And
they're squeezing them out of
okay,
pitch limits and stuff, pitch
two
counts.
of them on the Cleveland Guardians
Got busted, yeah.
got busted, and it has to do with the prop bet. There's too many. All these prop bets are ridiculous,
Yeah.
and this is predicting which pitches the guys will throw.
Well, that and pitch count and those sorts of
All
things.
that.
Yeah.
So
Will they throw the first strike of the game? Will the first pitch of the game be a strike or a ball? Will it be over 95 miles an hour or under? That kind of stuff.
So did you hear what MLB stepped forward after they heard about this?
Yeah, I think they're in some ways removing the pitchers from that stuff, right?
I didn't hear that. I heard that what they're doing is they're saying nobody can make a bet in baseball on prop over $200.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
How about this one? I heard the other day about how Sam's generation and the X generation, how they never have any cash with them and they do everything with credit card.
Hmm.
Their new term for cash, they call it gringe. They
I
call
have
it
not heard that.
Yeah.
they call it gringe.
Cringe.
And that 53% of them say they would only ever use cash as the absolute final resort. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Do I never not have $100 in my pocket.
I don't ever have cash. I have it in other spots, but I don't carry it with me. I don't care. Only thing I carry is 2 credit cards in my phone
I got one other
case.
quick one here. Our thing the other day about Abbott with the writing on streets and the colors and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
So now the city of Dallas has gone to the state of Texas. They want an exemption from the order, and they have some interesting things to say about it, including that Dallas transportation data doesn't show any pedestrian collisions or near miss reports attributed to the current sidewalk the walk design. And I'm thinking to myself, actually, it's a high vis thing for you to be alert that there is a crossing there. And then the final thing that they said to the state in trying to make their case, as a state leading the nation with uninsured residents, increased gun violence, devastating maternity mortality rates, and severely underpaid public education, it's sad to see issues like this being a priority and a waste of everybody's time. Keeping and replacing public art does nothing to improve the lives of everyday Texans, which should be the focus of our state's elected leader. And I'm saying to myself, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I after reading that, I don't see the harm.
The harm of painting streets.
Yeah,
I don't see the need for it. I don't. I
I
don't.
don't see
I
the
don't.
need either. But
Well, if I'm in a well, I will say this: if I'm a tourist and I'm going to Dallas, Texas, and all the streets are painted in LGBTQ nonsense, that's going to make me think of that city in a certain way, and I don't really care what people think. However, streets are to drive on,
I know.
and I'm with the person who said the world's on fire, and we're worried about streets.
Right.
And
That's
I
my
think
point.
it's just stupid in my opinion.
Yeah.
A couple of is that it for your Tarnations?
That's all I got.
Sammy, what do you have?
Oh, it's not really a tarnation. Yesterday was November 10th, marking 2 months since Charlie Kirk was shot
Yeah.
at UVU, and I just want to put that out there. I know people aren't gonna, are forgetting about him, but I just want to,
Well, we don't want to
talk
forget
about
about him. We don't want to forget about him. Kid Rock, I saw a video of Kid Rock the other day where Kid Rock has added, he sings the song Till You Can't by Cody Johnson,
Mm.
which really is a song about, do things that you would later regret if you didn't do them.
Yeah.
And he added a verse for Charlie Kirk. It's pretty emotional and pretty strong. I saw him singing in concert. Very good.
Relating to this, how about this leftist? I think this is where it's coming from. Have you seen the people that were complaining about the hug that Erica gave
Yeah,
to
we
JD
talked
Van?
about that last
Yeah.
week as a Tarnation.
Yeah.
That
Well, I saw it. I
yeah.
didn't think it was.
Well, whatever they think of the hug she gave JD Vance is the same hug she gave JD Vance's wife. We're going to cover there's some crazy things going on with Candace
Oh
Owens
yeah.
and Nick Fuentes.
Oh, Nick Fuentes. Have
Yeah,
you
there
heard?
are some people that I don't know about Nick. Well, I do know about Nick Fuentes. He's never been anything but a you know what piece of dirt, if you ask me. But Candace Owens has gone has gone mental or something. I mean, she's now claiming that Erica Kirk was part of what happened to Charlie, that there's this conspiracy. It's really sad to see because she has been so strong for the conservative movement, and now she's just going haywire. A couple of my Tarnations are Minneapolis mayor, when he won last week, he gave a portion of his speech in Somalian.
In Somalia.
Somalia. Well, he spoke in whatever their language is.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I find that to be I find it to be a real problem
Is
and
that the nation he's
disrespectful.
from?
No,
So what is
that's a nation. That's a nation whose thousands and thousands and thousands of them have settled in Minneapolis. So that's why you have Ilhan
mm,
Omar, whatever her name is, keeps
mm.
getting elected, is because they have not assimilated. They have created their own community. Grand Rapids has the same thing with respect to Muslims or other ethnicities. I don't have anything against. I don't. I don't have any problem with these people unless they're illegal and unless they come to this country and then create their own cells of terror or danger or whatever. But the Minneapolis mayor is just catering to a group of people that he knows he's got to have the vote to win, and so he's as white as me and you, and he gives us half his speech in their language. It's just disrespectful to the country.
Sam, do a little
Um,
quick research, please. For a long time, they've been big on the Hmong population, Humg, and I want to know whether Hmong
I don't know.
is people of Somalia.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, so I wanted to share that as my really only tarnation. A tarnation for us is like
No.
absurdity out there. It comes from
Originated from China.
it comes from
Okay.
Jed Clampett always saying, "What in the tarnation is going on?" So uh, I want to talk just for a few minutes about Hannah Dillard, and I don't want to dominate the conversation, although I'm eyeballs deep into this, and nor do I want to drag it on. So I'm going to try to do this
Because we
succinctly.
gave the good background of it last week.
Yeah, we just touched on it, but I don't want to even go into
Right.
that much. But Hannah is a 36-year-old woman. She is a missionary, was a missionary. She served her time across the world as a pediatric nurse and really was helping children who had orthopedic issues, no limbs or missing limbs, that sort of thing. But a caregiver extraordinaire, really, and she continues to do that in prison. But in 2017, she made the mistake of driving drunk, had a wreck right here on 35, head-on collision, and injured 5 students from SMU. One of them critically, and Hannah was injured, but not significantly. Anyway, she ended up over a long series of events. And some real travesties by people in this community who I once admired and liked and respected on the prosecution side and at the DA's office. She ended up getting 12 years for a first time offense, DWI with, uh, again, no non-fatal. Just this past week, it might have been over the weekend or it might have been Monday. There was a player from, I believe it was LSU. No, it wasn't LSU. Tyree Jackson, who was drafted this past year by the Minnesota Vikings. He and 2 of his buddies were killed in a car accident up in Minneapolis. Uh, they were hit by a drunk driver. That drunk driver got 3 years in prison. Hannah uh, got 12 years in prison by a system led by prosecutors who, in my view, have become a stain on this community, and I'm going to do everything in my power with the Sun's platforms to fight back. But Hannah got they recommended 12 years to the jury, painted Hannah as an evil villain when she's just the opposite of that. Anyway, Hannah got 12 years. She got 12 years because um, if you in the state of Texas, if you get 10 years or less, you're eligible for probation. If you get 10 years or more than 10 years, then you have to serve half of your sentence, and then you're up for parole, which is no guarantee. So now that I know the story in full, we have worked really hard to try to say that Hannah has served her time and should be out of prison. She was offered a 4-year plea deal by the prosecution, who told me that in a meeting on June the 5th, straight to my face. They now, in an affidavit, have come back and said that they were mistaken about that, that it actually was a 6-year deal, which doesn't matter to me if it's a 4-year or 6-year deal. The only plea deals that Hannah was offered were 2 8-year plea deals. And based upon her counsel's advice, she rejected both of them. There's documentation of that. So we have a legal system here with a DA and 2 prosecutors, one of which is now a judge, who are really playing the game. And it's egregious, it's abhorrent, and it's unacceptable. And we're going to continue to fight hard to set Hannah free, not because we believe she shouldn't suffer or deal with the consequences of her mistake, but the truth is that she has. Matter of fact, if you remember Ethan Couch, back in 2013, a young man, 16 years old, in Fort Worth, driving drunk, killed 4 people and severely injured 4 others, got 10 years probation for his mistake, let's put it that way. In an analysis of similar events across the country, non-fatal first-time offenses, DUI across the country, almost 99% of them don't ever get a jail sentence. Not only did Hannah get a jail sentence of prison sentence of 12 years, she's paid over $1.3 million in restitution to those 5 students, and still sits in prison. And she's got a fiance who's got stage 4 stomach cancer, who's now at MD Anderson in Houston being treated. She's got aging parents, and there's really no reason for this to continue. Our local folks, our DA is named Lindy Beatty. The lead prosecutor of the case was Grace Pandithurai, who's now a judge in the same courtroom, ironically, and then Sherry Roeder, a co-prosecutor, all of which I've met with together at one time, and then I've met with Lindy twice. There's never been any refuting that there was a 4-year plea deal made until this affidavit, which comes 5 months after the story, after my meeting and the story we wrote about it. But now they say it was a 6 years. Again, it doesn't matter. Hannah never got a 4-year. There was one offered.
Is there a paper trail either way?
No, but the paper trail now is the affidavit that says we offered the attorney. We gave the attorney we offered a 6-year plea deal. They told me a 4-year plea deal. They're now backtracking and say it was a 6-year plea deal. I don't care how many years. The fact is, Hannah was never given the opportunity to reject it or accept it. She never got it. And now we've asked the courts to make a decision in Waco as to whether or not Hannah's constitutional rights were deprived or because of inadequacies by her attorneys. And so I'm angry about it. And I think any of you who will look at this in an objective way would be angry about it. We've got 3 women prosecutors who didn't like Hannah, still don't like Hannah. All you got to do is read their affidavit. And the judge, Grace Pandithurai, has become close friends with the victim, the primary victim in this case. And if that's not a conflict, I don't know what is. It's wrong. And so here's what I'm going to do. I haven't sent this yet, but I'm going to read for you a brief letter that I intend to send to Lindy, Grace, and Sherry. And this is what it says. It says, after reading your response to the writ of habeas corpus in state of Texas versus Hannah Dillard, I am struck not by the weakness of your argument. That much was expected, but by the depth of your dishonesty. What you filed is not a legal response. It's a personal attack disguised as law. It's vindictive, unethical, and beneath the dignity of your office. So let's be clear. You have turned what should have been a sober evaluation of justice into a campaign of spite. You have chosen narrative over fact, bias over evidence, vengeance over fairness, and for that, you have forfeited any claim to credibility as prosecutors or public servants. Your duty under the Constitution is not to win at any cost, but rather to seek justice, to present truth, and to ensure fairness. You know that. You swore to that. Yet you've done the opposite. You fabricated claims about a young woman who has done everything possible to make amends. You've repeated unsubstantiated medical allegations about your friend Lexi, who's the primary victim, knowing full well you haven't presented any proof that I've seen that says she is that injured. You've made this case personal, and when prosecutors make it personal, they corrupt the process itself. Grace, this is for you. Your conduct in this matter is indefensible. You've crossed lines that every ethical prosecutor knows must never be crossed. You've abused discretion, weaponized emotion, and manipulated facts to serve your own animus. That is not advocacy, it's misconduct. When a prosecutor takes satisfaction in the prolonged suffering of another human being, when you measure justice by the depth of another's pain, you cease to represent the law. You become its distortion. And in this case, that distortion has a name, yours. Your repeated invocations of faith, your talk of prayer and virtue, all of it collapses under the weight of what you've done. There is no Christian mercy in cruelty. There is no righteousness in deceit. You've spoken the language of grace while practicing the work of grievance. Your response to this writ will not age well. It will stand as a record of bias, misconduct, and moral failure. And yes, exposure is coming, not out of vengeance, but accountability, because truth, even when buried, has a way of resurfacing. And when it does, every word, every omission, every distortion will be read for what it is, proof that justice in Ellis County was subverted by those sworn to protect it. You all should be ashamed deeply. That's exactly how I feel, and we're going to pursue this to the very end. It's wrong, and I don't, these facades of, and people, we see it all the time, these virtue signaling. I pray, I'm a Christian, all this BS, and then you turn around and you do this to a human being. It ain't going to fly with me, and I'm not going to be nice about it. So, more just to come on this. I haven't sent this letter, but I likely am. All right, so we'll keep you informed.
It's a matter of public record at this point anyway.
Well, it is now. And one last thing is that we sent a package to President Trump last week. They have received it down in Mar-a-Lago, and we'll see. It's a Hail Mary if there ever was a Hail Mary. But yeah, but we're going to see what can be done here, because imagine it being your daughter. Either case, those who were injured, they 4 of the 5 of them have moved on. The one that is claimed to have all these injuries, we haven't seen the medical report of it, but she lives in Chicago in a high rise, and was paid plenty of money, uh, and uh, so it's a game, and it's a sad game, and we'll keep you informed as we move forward. All right. Any questions on that, boys?
Well, one thing. What is the rule regarding paper trails on plea?
You don't have to have a paper trail can be like the paper trails that exist for the 2 8-year plea deals. Is a 1-page document where it says, well, for the 8-year plea deal, signed by either the attorney or the paralegal or whomever in the attorney's office, and the defendant. So in this case, there's one by local attorney Mark Griffith that rejects the 8-year plea deal back in summer of 2019. That one was rejected. It was offered again a year and a half later in December of 2020. It was rejected by the second set of attorneys that Hannah had out of Dallas, and by Hannah. Those are the only plea deals with a documentation in the file. However, that doesn't, for a plea deal to be valid, there does not have to be a paper trail. It requires an affidavit for an attorney, or for, like in this case, the attorney, the current DA, the defendant Hannah said that she's prepared an affidavit that says she didn't get it. So everybody is involved. I had to provide an affidavit telling the court that these ladies said. I said the only, in the conversation, it was like happenstance. We were talking about it, and I said, I know Hannah was offered an 8-year plea deal, and one of the prosecutors is over there shaking her head no, and I'm like, what do you mean no? She said we offered her a 4-year plea deal, and so they're the ones that introduced the 4-year plea deal.
I'll tell you what, I don't like the way that looks.
Well, they have now come back and said we were mistaken about the 4-year plea deal. It was actually a 6-year
well, the
plea
same.
deal.
I mean, the principle is
the very same.
You got an 8 one, you offer it, you reject it. Another 8, you offer it, reject it. We got paper trails on those, but you got a 6, which is different from the 8, and
and different from what they told me in the meeting.
And what?
So you tell me. For me, you put a tent over this and call it a circus, if you ask me. But the paper trail now regarding the plea deals is the affidavit. All right.
Yeah, but that's
so it's the
term I like to use is revisionist history.
Well, no, I'm just saying the paper trail now has turned into an affidavit. But what you're talking about is, yeah, they're playing games. So they all got together and decided they would concoct this BS of a story, and now I've submitted it to the court. At the same time, slamming Hannah for being a lousy person. They don't know Hannah. They don't know Hannah from Adam's house cat, and yet they're calling her everything they can think of. It's vicious, and I'm not willing to, as a media guy, and but more importantly, as a human being, I'm not willing to sit by and just let that happen to somebody. If it were my daughter, I'd be doing everything, just like Mrs. Dillard are, be doing everything possible. It's not an illegality. It's not a crime for them to be doing what they're doing. But as I said in my letter, it's everything short of that. You can't put somebody in jail for being that type of person. But these prosecutors and the DA, I endorsed both of them. And now I'm on a crusade to make sure all of them get run out of office, because this is unacceptable in our county. It's just unacceptable. And Hannah's paid the price, and that's the end of the story. So as far as I'm concerned. All right, let's talk about the shutdown. Wow, after how many days?
38.
Oh, I think it's close. It could be that, or it's 40.
Yeah.
But for 40 days, our government has been shut down, and much of that, or some of that at least, is manageable. Our parks are shut down and that sort of thing. So just you have to delay your vacation to go to Yellowstone or whatever. But when it comes to things that are a little more rigid, like air traffic control and our military and things like that, these people have gone without, they've missed 2 paychecks now, particularly the air traffic controllers. So that's not something to play around with. So finally, last night, the shutdown got enough Democratic support, not shutdown, ending the shutdown got enough support from Democrats who, in my view, have been holding this up. Chuck Schumer, in all his brilliance, it's now over, and the government can get back to running. But I wanted to share with you, I know, Jeff, you said how many senators from the left jumped in and said we got to end this? Didn't you have a rough count?
The number I had was 8 total, and a couple of them were independents.
Okay, so the package advanced by the Senate on Sunday looks to reopen the government. This is the same one that was, I think, approved last night. Reopen the government through January the 30th of 2026. So what's that? 2 months, 2.5 months. Also includes a bundle of 3-year-long spending bills to fund Veterans Affairs, the country's agricultural expenses, and the legislative branch. In return, Democrats who voted for the package secured the inclusion of language that prevents the Trump administration from conducting mass layoffs of federal workers through January 30th. So Trump is saying, okay, I mean, I told you guys, you shut down this government. We're just going to start getting rid of non-essential employees. And I don't want to sound cruel, but there's so much bloat in our government that it's nothing for Trump to say, okay, well, you want to see that they're not useful or doing anything for the country? See what pain you go through when we're shut down. Well, Trump has said, I won't let mass layoff through January the 30th. It also guarantees back pay for federal employees fired since the beginning of the shutdown. So I know the air traffic controllers have gone without 2 checks. I think for some reason, I think they get paid once a month. But anyway, they've missed 2 checks. Additionally, the shutdown includes a standalone vote on the tax credit subsidies to be considered later this year. And again, the biggest issue has been this insurance subsidies, and how much the Democrats want it, and how strongly opposed to it the Republicans are when it comes to illegal health care coverage. To some Democrats, a failure to secure an extension or even a partial extension of the Obamacare subsidies was unacceptable. Mark Warner in Virginia says, I cannot support a deal that still leaves millions of Americans wondering how they're going to pay for their health care or whether they will be able to afford to get sick, and so on and so forth. So all the while, these people in Congress, both in the Senate, both houses, were getting paid. All right. So all their little virtue signaling and delaying this and shutting down the government for 40 days, I wonder if they would have gone 40 days without their pay. And but there's no harm to them. I mean, ostensibly they'll pay for it at the ballot box, but there's no immediate impact on any senator or House of Representatives. And this is the Senate that's held this up. They're still getting everything. They got everything they want.
I was thinking about a weird deal in terms of getting them caught up on the missing time. If they gave them one big check for all that, that could probably, how the withholding becomes automatic
Yeah.
on what you're making. That
Yeah.
could screw them up in that department. I don't know if they're going to give them individual checks for the times they
Yeah,
missed
I
or
don't know
one big one. I
how
don't
that
know.
happens. That's a good point. I don't know how that happens. But the shutdown is over. Sammy, you got random thoughts for this day?
I do. That was quick. Let me get this off and get it on my phone. My phone's charged, so.
That's amazing.
He's bragging on it.
All right, first one. Patrick Dumont is in it just as much as Nico was. Now, I know there's a whole group of them, but Patrick has came out with a statement trying to make amends. Buddy, you signed the paper.
He did. He
You
let
agreed with
Nico
Nico.
talked him into it.
Yes.
And
So,
and you were a guy that didn't know scratch about basketball
mm-hmm.
until you bought the team, and so, boy,
Don't you know if any one of us were the general partner or whatever, and Nico comes to us and say, "I want to trade Luka," I'm like, "Boy, get out! It's an April Fool's. Get
Yeah.
out of here."
they had an interview in the paper the other day with Cuban, and one of the things he said was, when the buyout occurred, he decided he did not want to have any
Yeah.
control over the team. He said, because you know what? I didn't want to have a job. And I regret that
Yeah.
now, because if I had been there, it wouldn't have happened.
Well, some things you just say that'll not ever happen. And then
Right.
so I'm assuming he was like, "No way, that's not even a
Yeah,
part of the
right.
mindset."
I mean, what do you even say to Patrick? Hey, let's trade Luka for Anthony. I just don't understand how
Yeah.
Patrick looked at that and agree with that. So yeah, Patrick, you're not on anybody's good side as far as I'm concerned. I cannot stand driving home at 5 and it's already dark.
Yeah.
For the vibes, and I have bad eyesight in the dark, so I'm driving home and I gotta wear my glasses, but
Yeah.
I don't like
Glasses
that.
do help.
I don't like the dark.
Yes, you should, Tim. Go ahead.
Waking up early while it's cold is one of the hardest things to do in this world. I almost called in today, Dad. No, I'm just kidding. But
Uh-huh.
it's rough. It's getting rough. It's really cold.
Turn on the heater, son.
Kennedy doesn't like the heater. It scares her.
All right, well,
So,
scares her.
yeah, fires and stuff.
Oh,
It's crazy to me. It's insane how fast the NFL season goes by. We're already
it
in week
does.
10 or
Yeah.
11.
It does.
It's
It really does.
crazy. And my last one is whenever I wear my Alabama gear, do you have tons of people coming up to talk to you about I have this past week 3 dudes came up
Yeah.
to me. I went to HEB, Tom Thumb.
People do it with my license plate.
Yeah, and so my Alabama
Yeah.
gear gets people
Or
talking.
people will just walk by and say, "Roll Tide."
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
preach it, brother.
Mhm.
All
So
right,
yeah,
very
that's it.
good, Sammy. Sammy is a pawpaw.
Huh? What?
Sammy's a pawpaw.
Why?
Because you're like an old guy.
No. Oh, Sonya said that. I didn't see
Yeah.
it.
All right. Let's play a video, Sammy. Get that queued up. We spend a lot of time being the watchdog for Waxahachie. That is the sun, and by extension, me and all of us in this room and beyond. And when you think about Waxahachie, you might say, well, there's no reason for a watchdog. Everything's running pretty good, whatever. Just below the surface, folks, there are things going on in this community that you have no idea. And if not for people who do know and are willing to do something about it, you would know about it, and then it would be way too late. So the need for a watchdog in this community, both I just read for you the nefarious nonsense going on at the courthouse. Uh, I, at city council, I got 3 city council people council members that I don't believe should be anywhere near city council. causing all kinds of havoc. Uh, think about human trafficking. Do you know there's a human trafficking element in Waxahachie? Strong element. It's active and alive. That's got a all these things exist, and it's like I'll never forget. I used to kid my sister, who would get a bill like from the IRS, and she'd throw it away, and she would act like because she threw it away, it didn't exist. People will say, "Well, if I don't see it, it doesn't exist." It's when you don't see it, uh, and you think it doesn't exist, that it will come to you in big bad ways. So, having said all that, we keep an eye on things. I want you to listen to this exchange of Elgin, Texas.
Due east of
Of
Austin,
so
maybe 30, 45 miles.
yeah. So listen to this conversation, and you'll know that there's not a watchdog anywhere in sight for these people. Go ahead, play it, Sam.
So I think that what we can conclude for this, because we can go through this back and forth all night long, we can't do and go back and find because we don't have the people to ask. We don't have a clue of how it was done. We don't have a track of how it was done. Going back will never get you anywhere if you're going backwards, but you need to figure out what we're going to do going forward and make for sure that what we think may have happened, and yes, what we think may have happened, because I wasn't there, I'm not a finance person, Pam was not there, she's not a finance person per se, and so we have people that unfortunately we did the best that we could possibly do at the time. Yes, ma'am, okay?
That whole idea of looking forward instead of back says, well, are we going to get any accountability about this, or is somebody going to pay the price, or
Yeah, I think what we saw there are people who are either playing dumb or are dumb, or they're speaking of nefarious. But when you had that, was that the city council?
look up the population?
Yeah, was that did it say if that was the city council?
Didn't say what it
I can.
was.
Well, what was?
Mayor Teresa
Yeah.
McCann of Elgin. Yeah, it just says 10 million missing. The mayor says just
Yeah, so
move
there's $10
on.
million missing, and the mayor says, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about. We don't know where it is. We can't find it. It went this way. It went that way." That's a bunch of BS. I can assure you, and I hope that you've come to respect this and appreciate it, is that if any amount of money is missing, then we find out about it, and we're constantly looking. Believe me. And for those of you on council, go ahead. 13,000 community. I mean, that's $10 million.
$10 million
$10 million
missing
missing.
in a 13,000 population town. Wow.
So we're going to continue to be a very aggressive
Yikes.
watchdog, and you'll start to see more and more of that come out in the weeks and months to come. All right, rhyme time. What do we
Rhyme
got?
time. In honor of Veterans Day, and I'm not a veteran, you're not a veteran, and I've only really had 3 people that I was ever close to in my life that were veterans.
Yeah.
This is kind of a poem that talks a little bit about me not being a veteran. It's called Float Like a Butterfly.
Let's hear it.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I missed out on Nam, just like Ali. Off to St. Mary's, I got a degree, 4 short years, and a minor in history. Had a college draft exemption. This was in the Vietnam end of the war. I guess it was white man's luck. Then off to the real world to chase the mighty buck. I'm getting some perspective of my life of privilege. Beats killing off Kong in some village in Nam. I admire those who did. The draft board called their number. It's a lot to ask of a 19-year-old kid. My man Clay chirped like a song. I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong. I've had some darn fight chances while others got no glances. I guess that your upbringing can affect your stances. Yet it's not just how you're raised that affects your every phrase. Don't let your parents be your crutch for you acting like a schmuck. My buddy Elmer doth decree, I'm glad to be me. He understands like many, he creates his destiny. Christopher Columbus died in 1506 after finding the Indians in the sticks. Now it's 2020, and if he's ruined your day, your toot is kind of rough. Move on is all I can say. Let's learn from our history, not turn it into a mystery. Of course, always remember, you get to vote in November.
That's right. Very good. That's a good one. I like that.
It's a nice little lead into today in history.
Okay, let's hear it.
Big man went 6-2. Thank God I had a couple of bonuses. Here we go. 41 pilgrims aboard the Mayflower, anchored off of Massachusetts, signed the Mayflower Compact, creating a local government for the colony that called for a civil body politic for our better order and preservation.
1872.
1780.
1620.
Wow.
Jeez, I had no idea.
Just a miss.
That's them pilgrims. Here we go. Fighting in World War I ended as Allies and Germany signed an armistice aboard a railroad car in the forest of Campion in northern France.
1865.
1891.
Wrong war. A little short. 1918.
Oh. Okay. 0 for
Wait,
2.
what was I thinking of then? What happened in
There ain't
Civil
no
War.
telling.
This was
Oh.
World War One.
Oh,
World War One.
okay.
The remains of an unidentified American service member were interned in a tomb of the unknown soldier in Arlington National Cemetery, where Scott has been,
Many
in a
times.
ceremony presided over by President Warren G. Harding.
1942.
47.
21.
Jeez.
That was from that guy died in World War One. So
I tell you, if you ever get a chance to go to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and watch the guards there, it's amazing.
okay, get the bonus on this one, please.
All right, I need it. I'm 0-3.
Me too.
Irish-born cook Mary Malone, who gained notoriety as the disease-carrying blank, blamed for three deaths. Deaths of three people died in Northern Brother Island in New York's East River at age 69 after 23 years of quarantine. The bonus is, what was the disease that
HIV.
she had?
HIV.
No, the disease she had that she was quarantined for 23 years. What was that disease called?
Malaria.
Typhoid Mary.
Oh,
You
yeah.
ever hear
There you go.
that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So
All right. So what the year? That year would have been 19
this is the year of her
death.
death.
1958.
1963.
38.
Oh my
Lord.
goodness.
0 for 5. 0 for 4. Whatever.
Following the
Gee.
failure of two Supreme Court nominations, President Ronald Reagan announced his choice of Judge Anthony M. Kennedy, who went on to win the confirmation.
1980. I gotta get in the range.
1983.
87, you're both there.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. And we close with Sam Bateman Fried's FTX crypto exchange platform filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection amid a collapse of its assets. He was convicted in November 2023 of 7 counts of wire fraud and conspiracy to commit fraud and was sentenced to 25 years in prison.
2021.
2022.
2022 for the
Oh,
bonus.
Oh, yeah.
For the bonus for the late rally.
Oh,
You gotta
yeah.
be kidding me.
Still a bit too short. All right.
A day behind and $1 short.
I want to share 2 companies that are important to us. Hoosier Custom Meats sponsors our show. They are in Italy, Texas. Wonderful company and lots of great beef and all kinds of stuff. You can get all the way from New York strips to burgers to let's see what else. Fajita meat, chili, cutlets, patties, ground beef, fillets, you you name it, you can get it at Hoosier Custom Meats, HOOSER custommeats.com. 903-688-1446, 903-688-1446. And then I want to mention, I did an interview the other day about Missy Beavers, which I'm doing more and more these days, which is quite interesting. Some local, some on a really a national, international scale, given the breadth and depth and reach of Missy's story. But I did one the other day with a local team of podcasters, Renee and Crystal, True Crime Broads. I really appreciated that interview, and it was easy. It was conversational. It's important. They are appropriately, I don't know if I wouldn't call it obsessed because that makes it sound bad, but they are so passionate about having this case solved. And I just want to applaud them for the work that they're doing. If you get a chance, check them out on Facebook, True Crime Broads. Renee and Crystal, you'll know them in the right place if you see those two names. They have a show that they do often, and I would just ask that you check them out. All right. With that said, true facts that sound like BS. Are you ready?
Let's go, Sam.
Can
It's
you
you and
handle
me.
it?
You and me against the
ready.
world.
True or false? The capital of Nevada is west of Los Angeles, California. So look at
What?
your map. Los Angeles sits right on the ocean, the Pacific Ocean. So the capital of Nevada, which I can't remember what is it Vegas?
Yeah, it is. Well, no.
I don't know if it's the capital.
No,
It's not Reno.
Reno.
I don't, anyway, the
That's the
capital.
answer to this
Oh, I
question,
was
too.
thinking of Nebraska. I was
No,
so confused.
Nevada, a couple states over,
Yeah.
but the capital of Nevada is west of Los Angeles. True or false?
I'm gonna go true.
I'm going to go true, too, and I'll tell you why. Is it true?
Yes.
I couldn't tell you
The
why.
capital of Nevada is west of LA. In fact, there are not one, not two, but 6 U.S. state capitals west of Los Angeles. They are Juneau, Alaska,
Mhm.
Honolulu, Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
Carson City, Nevada. That's the capital.
That's capital.
Salem, Oregon,
Mhm.
Olympia, Washington, and Sacramento, California.
And Reno, we flew in there to go to Lake Tahoe. And
Yeah.
it's very interesting that when you come down from Reno to Lake Tahoe and then you spend some time in Lake Tahoe, you find out that the state line of Nevada and California runs through that lake.
Yeah, that's
And you get
yeah.
down to the southern part, to that little South Lake Tahoe, and all of a sudden you see a little place called State Line Road.
Yeah.
And at State Line Road, you got all the casinos
Oh,
because most of the fun part of Lake Tahoe is in California.
Mm.
But anyway,
All right. Thank you for being here. We'll see you on Thursday at noon.
make it a great day and put a smile on somebody's face today.